Hello, everybody. It's Friday, August 15th. I can't believe it. And I am here today to have an announcement from headquarters. So, hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Narissa Bauer, behavioral pediatrician and CEO of Let's Talk Kids Health and creator of Teach Me ADHD. We have had so many things happening this month, and I am just so excited about all of it. Thank you to those of you who watched our roundtable the other evening and met the team. But today, specifically, we have our dedicated time to let you get to meet our newest senior field agent. And so I am so excited because when I started Teach Me ADHD in October of 2020, it was just me. And through the years, this team has grown. I am so fortunate to have found like minded individuals who are just as passionate about helping families with ADHD thrive. And today, I am so excited to introduce you all to our newest senior field agent. I'm going to bring her up here. I'm going to remove this picture and we're going to have an interview and have you meet with her. Hold on one second. Here she is. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Dr. Bauer. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, I know you were on the round table on Tuesday evening, but I just wanted to have this special time just with you for you to talk with my community and just to introduce yourself as a formal member of the Teach Me ADHD team. So without further ado, Julie, do you mind just, kind of giving the folks who are watching this either live or on replay a little bit of your background?
Sure. Well, I'll start with that. I'm calling into headquarters today from a suburb of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I live and work. And here I have my own coaching practice called New Leaf Coaching. And I've worked in the health and wellness fields for about 30 years. So I really began my professional career with a master's degree as a physician assistant and also a master's of public health. And then I was able to work in a family practice setting as a physician assistant for about 10 years. And I really loved that work. I loved getting to know the patients and working with them on all sorts of different healthcare issues and challenges. But one of the challenges that I felt I had in the family practice setting was not enough time I felt that I had with my patients. I always wanted to help them dig a little deeper into whatever was going on in their life and see how perhaps it connected to what was happening with their health. And in that setting, there wasn't as much time as I would have liked to have with that. So that was something that was on my mind as I worked in family practice. And then meanwhile, one of my children was diagnosed with ADHD. So as a parent, I naturally wanted to learn as much as I could about that. So I really just dug into everything I could, tried to educate myself as much as possible about ADHD. And I started learning a lot and attending some conferences on ADHD. And there I discovered the profession of ADHD coaching. And I found it to be really interesting and exciting. And I felt like it would be a great fit for me. So I pursued some formal training to become a certified coach through the International Coaching Federation. And I also eventually earned some additional certification as an ADHD coach. So that's how I got to where I am today. And now as an ADHD coach, I work with adults, teens, kids, families, parents, to help support them as they navigate the ups and downs of life with ADHD. And I really love facilitating groups. It's one of my favorite things to do and help people kind of learn from each other. And I often bring into my work some of my special interests, which include positive psychology practices and mindfulness-based practices, which I really enjoy. And I find that my clients found super helpful as well. So that's a bit about my background in some of my areas of specialty.
Yes, thank you so much. And I am so excited to have you and your wealth of experience and expertise on the team. I think many families who have children with ADHD either, just have different challenges day to day. And all families want to do right by their child. And I think a lot of what I know you can do will be so helpful. So, I would love to kind of talk about why you joined the Teach Me ADHD team.
Sure. So, if it's okay with you, I'll just share a bit about how
Yes.
you and I met. Okay. So, you and I were together we were both students in a class that was focused on supporting ADHD families. And throughout that class, I just always really admired you and everything that you shared in the class and, learning about your work. And I was so especially impressed and intrigued when I heard about this creative and innovative program that you had developed called Teach Me ADHD. And it sounded like so educational, but so fun and so interactive. And as you and I talked about it more, you mentioned that you were looking into ways to further support the parents in the program. And meanwhile, I was exploring some ways to join a team of healthcare professionals focused on ADHD to collaborate together. So I think you and I both really realized at around the same time that this was a great opportunity for us to join forces.
Yes.
So I'm just so thrilled to be joining the team and to be able to provide some extra support for parents. There's so many things that I'm excited about with the team, such great curriculum, learnings. The team is so great, but it's really that piece of supporting the parents that makes me so excited because, let's face it, I think parenting is the most important job in the world, but I also think it's one of the most difficult. And it's really hard work. And when you add ADHD to the mix, it just goes to a whole new level. So, and I get it. Like I said, I'm blessed to have ADHD in my family, and there are many incredible strengths and joys that come with that. But it can feel overwhelming at times when the challenges, rise to the surface. So when I work with parents of ADHD kids, they often tell me what their family life is like and how hard they're working to support their kids. And I sometimes joke with them that it's like they're running a Ninja Warrior course every day. So no wonder they feel tired and burned out. It's understandable. And that I tell them that, I try to think of them as, the superstar athletes who are, trying to run this course every day to the best of their ability. And I'm there to coach them, train them, help them build their resilience muscles so they can run that course more smoothly, no matter what obstacles might pop up. So I'm just really looking forward to being able to bring that kind of support to your parents in your program, the senior detectives in the Teach Me ADHD program.
Yeah, I love that analogy so much. I love that so much. And, for those of you who have been following me or have heard about my program, Teach Me ADHD, it's been, a labor of love. And when it was designed, it was originally for parents and kids to take together, kids with ADHD ages 8 to 12 and their parents to take. And one of the things that came apparent as I've been doing this for several years is, you know, families join really gung ho and they're like, yes, we're going to do this. And then, life happens and we all have been there, right? I mean, this is a weekly class and, I work really hard not to make it feel like school. I mean, there are some training missions that you guys will do after the fact, very small things, but it's designed to help you and your child take what you learned during that training mission meeting and start working on the systems at home, start reinforcing those discussion points and really making it second nature so that way it becomes just part of routine, right? But like I said, usually parents will get the first couple done and then all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, it's just so much, I've got work, we've got like this after school thing. And I was talking with Julie and I'm like, I want these families to really reap the full benefit of this program and everything that has been poured into it. And I mean, when I was talking with Julie, I was like, this just makes sense to have you there as an additional support person to help the senior detectives. Because I know that when they first signed up, they were like, yes, I want to do this. And, like I said, life gets in the way. And so having special protected time just for parents to be able to explore what are those barriers? What are, again, the reminders for me, why I signed up, and how can I find that motivation, that accountability to continue to do the work that it takes to really implement these new strategies in my house.
Yeah, I really like the way you talked about that protected time for the parents and
Yes.
just giving them their chance because many times when we're with our kids, we're focusing on their experience of it, and I'm guessing that can be the case when the parents are there with their children together in the program. And so I think it's a nice opportunity for parents to be able to have a little space where they can speak freely, where they can be honest about what their challenges are, their ups and downs, and be able to get support from me as a coach, but also from the other parents. I think that's one of the great things about having a parent group, is
Yes.
for parents to recognize I'm not alone. Like, okay, other people are experiencing some of this, and oh, that's a great idea that other parent over there mentioned about how they tackled this. I'm going to try that too. So,
Yeah.
we all have so many ideas and solutions, and it's a matter of hearing them and figuring out what works for you. But that can come from the other parents as well.
That's right. So, new this time around in the fall cycle, we're also offering, when you buy the Teach Me ADHD package, you're also going to have um, 2 bonus parent coaching sessions included in the package with Julie. I'm going to throw up here the dates so that those of you who are interested in signing up for the fall session with either myself, with Kim Ehrlich, or with Dr. Jennifer Diltz. It doesn't matter which class you choose, all parents or all senior detectives will have the opportunity to join Julie for that protected time, just to, kind of be with other parents. And these are the dates that we want you to mark your calendars on. Now, Julie, can you speak to sort of just briefly like what to expect? And if they can't make those dates and they're like, oh my gosh, this sounds like great, really great, but I just can't make one or both of those, what will happen?
Yeah, great question. So, as you just mentioned, the Teach Me ADHD program, as it's been going, is an 8-week program for the parents and kids together. What we're adding in this time is 2 additional really sessions. They're not the classes in the traditional sense of the program, but they're 2 protected time sessions for the parents to do some group coaching with me as their facilitator. And we're going to do one of those parent sessions really at the beginning of the 8-week program, so that the parents can connect to each other and explore ways that they can set themselves up and their child up for success during the 8-week program. Because, you and I both felt, as we talked about this, that as they're beginning, the more prepared they are, the better experience they will have in the course. So that's really the purpose of that first session. And then the second protected time for parents, the second parent coaching session, will be as the 8-week program is coming to a close. So at that time, the main focus will be helping the parents to finish the course strong. As we said, these parents are like Ninja Warrior athletes. And so I really feel like they deserve to have someone in their cheering section as they get close to the finish line. It helps them to get there.
Yes.
So yeah, give them that little push, that little cheer, or really maybe even to dig a little deeper and figure out, what's been missing. Have they not been able to finish some of the family missions? Have they not caught up on a video or two if they had missed a class with their child? And being able to just help them create a plan that works for them so they can complete those remaining steps and get across the finish line. And then we'll also talk about, hey, what's it going to look like when the class is over?
Yeah.
And what are some of the really important things you've learned? What are some of the strategies you put into place? What are the things you're still trying to put into place? How can we create a plan for each family to be able to integrate and continue to use these amazing learnings from the program once the 8 weeks is over? What's that going to look like for them? And so help them start to think about that and plan for that. And that will help them to be more successful then.
Yes.
So I really think the parents are going to find these coaching sessions valuable for them and their family. And then you asked that great question about what if they can't be there for these coaching sessions, because they will be a live group session that we'll be doing online. No worries, we get it. Things come up. So there will be a recording for them to have access to, so they can get all of the same prompts, all the same discussion points. And so they will not miss that material in any way. And having access to that recording will even be really nice if later they want to go back and tap into that. Like, what were those things we talked about in that last session? We're a month or 2 out. How can I get back on track here? And so it's a resource they'll have ongoing.
Yes. I love this so much, Julie. I'm just so excited for you to join the team and to provide that protected time for the parents, because they are just as important, to this. I think as parents, we want to do well by our child, and we're always focused on how they're doing, but this is giving them permission to see how they are doing as well. So again, these are the dates that you're going to need to just mark on your calendars if you're interested in signing up for any of our Teach Me ADHD classes this fall. These are going to be specifically for parents. And before we close, I would just like to mention that priority registration is in a week. Oh my goodness. Like, this is amazing. This is always the most part, like, this is the most fun part about this time of year for me, is when we start promoting and saying agency doors are going to be opening, because the excitement is building, not just for the families, but for us behind the scenes, because we are like, I can't wait to see the new kids and the new parents come through agency doors. So remember, if you are on the wait list already, starting next Friday, you will get an email in your inbox with the specific registration link and a top secret coupon to register to take $100 off the course package. And if for some reason you miss that window, don't despair, because general registration opens to the public afterwards, so August 25th, and runs through September 5th, or whenever any of our classes are full. So just to put it out there, just so you have that information, please make sure if you have any questions about this, reach out to us at headquarters. We'll make sure you're going to get all the things so that you won't miss out on your opportunity to register. And that, with that being said, I just want to make sure that people who are watching again live or on replay, if they have questions about who you are, Julie, and if they're not necessarily going to do Teach Me ADHD, but they need someone like you in their corner, where can they find you?
Yeah, great. So I think the first place to start would be Dr. Bauer on your website. So on the letstalkkidshealth.org website, and you have a tab there now called ADHD coaching.
Yes.
And so you have a really nice description there about ADHD coaching and what it is and how it can be helpful. So, and then you also have some specific information about me listed there. So that's where I would start. That's a great place that parents could look to learn a little more about what ADHD coaching is. And to that point, my services are available not only to people in the Teach Me ADHD program, but also to people that if the program's not on their schedule right now, or their child isn't that specific age, I am also available for coaching services for parents separate from that. So that's a good place to start if they want to learn a little bit more about me and my coaching background and my other work. A few places to look would be my website, which is newleafgrowth.com. My Facebook page is facebook.com/newleafgrowth. And my Instagram is new.leafcoaching. So you could look in any of those areas and you'll find my contact information on those places as well. So I'm really excited about supporting the senior detectives this fall and onward.
Yes. Thank you again for joining us at headquarters today. And I hope you and your family are going to be among the first to register next week, Friday, and join us in headquarters this go around. Thank you again for watching, and don't be strangers. Reach out to us if you have any questions. Thanks, Julie. It was good talking to you today.
Thank you. You too.